What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. And the topic of discussion for today is which Indianapolis Colts are under the most pressure heading into the 2024 NFL season. So all these guys are actually pretty young, and I believe all of them are on their first-year contract. We'll see if that changes. I mean, I have a list here. We'll see as we go through them, if I remember. But the first guy we have on the list here, we're not wasting any time, we're getting right into it, is Alec Pierce. Look, man, Alec Pierce, he has a talent. He has the physical attributes. He's fast. He's big. He's one of those lengthy receivers that we see nowadays. You look at the bigger guys, the lengthy guys, lengthy, skinny guys, and Pierce kind of fits that. He has a lot of good attributes to him. He's big. He's like 6'3", 6'2", I don't remember, but he ran a wild fast 40 time, and every year it seemed like he's gotten a little bigger, like he's put more muscle on, which is good. But from him dropping the game winner, a potential game winner in his NFL debut, to catching the game winner in Jacksonville, which is still in his rookie year, he caught the game winner in that Jacksonville game. That was an awesome game. I was actually there in person, so that's why I remember that. But man, Alec Pierce has shown flashes. That's kind of exactly what I'm getting at here. He shows flashes. He has these times where he has big plays. And I think he had a really good game against the Titans. And, he had a couple nice games here and there last season, and my issue with Alec Pierce is that he's inconsistent, he disappears, and those are things that are not going to bode well in the long term. Might get away with it in his rookie contract, but, I mean, he has some competition. That's another thing on the list. He has some competition. He has a Donnie Mitchell coming in. You have Josh Downs, who's already taken over the slot and can play outside as well. Pierce can play it all. And then you have Ashton Dulin, who's going to be coming back healthy, so Alec Pierce is really going to be losing snaps, pretty soon. I could see him losing quite a few snaps. And he has those drops here and there and those big moments. It's really aggravating. And something I will say about Alec Pierce is it seemed when he went from catching from Anthony Richardson to Gardner Minshew, he had a really difficult time catching passes from Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson really, really flings those things. He throws them hard. He throws those footballs really well. And I'm not sure if Alec Pierce really handled those footballs that come at him that fast. It's just something that he struggled with. It's, in my eyes, because when we went to Gardner Minshew, it seemed like he had no issue catching Gardner Minshew's passes compared to Richardson's. But, it could just be a coincidence. But that's just an observation that I saw. And Pierce he's inconsistent. He disappears. He has those drops. And that's something to worry about. That's something to take into consideration there. And, the quarterback situation really hasn't been the best. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in that area. But really, other than that, no. He's been inconsistent. He's had his drops. And, it's not like he hasn't had the opportunity. I mean, the first 3 seasons, he's had a lot of snaps. In 2023, or no, first 2 seasons. In 2023, he had a lot of snaps. He had the most snaps out of any Indianapolis Colts receiver. Yet, the production was very low. It was very low compared to how many snaps he had. Pittman had quite a bit less snaps than Pierce, because I think Pittman was hurt a game or two. Nonetheless, Pierce had all these snaps, yet he couldn't capitalize on this. Didn't have Minshew, didn't have the great quarterback situation, fine. But still, there were times where he dropped the ball. There were times where he just disappeared. And when you're on the field that much and you're only getting just over 500 yards, 2 touchdowns with 30-some catches he had, 30 or 40, still, 40 is even low for me on the field, over 1,000 snaps throughout the season. That's more than Gardner Minshew. To put into perspective, that's more than Gardner Minshew. Now, I know Minshew didn't play the full season, but Minshew basically played every single snap. It's just, it's tough. It's tough. And, in the NFL, it's either you make it or you don't. And it seems like Alec Pierce can be a nice change of pace receiver, maybe, as a 3 or 4. But I don't know if you want to be giving this guy all these snaps when he's not really making good use of them. Now, it says a lot. Shane Steichen and, it says a lot that he's getting all these snaps because they want him out on the field. They think he's a good weapon. And hopefully that starts to transit to the field. Hopefully that begins to show sooner rather than later. So Alec Pierce, over the first 2 seasons, 73 catches, just over 1K receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. That's not enough for how much he's been on the field. But Alec Pierce is a guy that is under a lot of pressure because you have a Donnie Mitchell coming in. You have Ashton Dulin going to be healthy again, and he's a good special teams guy. He's not losing a spot. So Alec Pierce has to pick it up. Is Adonai Mitchell being under him, will that motivate him? Will that light that little extra fire under his butt to make him play a little better, make him, play a little better under pressure, really, maybe work a little hard? I'm not saying he's not working hard, but just, is that extra competition going to make him better? And that's why Balor loves competition. That's why I love it too. And am I a big fan of Balor myself? No, not really. Not right now. Just tired of the mediocre teams every year. Tired of the last second patches. He waits too long to fill future. He waits too long. It doesn't at the last minute. But that's for another video. Let's not spend too much time on that. So the next one I have here is Nick Cross. I can spend too much time on this guy. Nick Cross. His first year he played like a game, or a half a game or two, and we never saw him again. And that's not good. That's not good. Now, Gus Bradley's system, cover 3 system, is very difficult to learn, which is what I hear from a ton of people in the media, the scouts, and, I hear that a lot from a lot of people. His system is very difficult to learn. It's a 3, he likes 3 safeties, so there's no reason why Nick Cross cannot continue to improve and get more playing time. But then, the year after his rookie year, last year, he had decent amount of playing time. I thought he had a couple nice plays here and there, but it wasn't enough. So this year, Nick Cross, come on, pick it up, man. 3rd year, let's go. In your 3rd year, if you're not clicking in your 3rd year, then typically, after that, it could be too late. Maybe not. It is hard. It is harder for DBs, but it seems like safeties. Anything. It's a speed league. Everything needs to be done fast. We're not waiting around for you to get better. It's either you're going to get better or you're going to get replaced. It's just kind of how the NFL works. Next, we have Kwity Paye. I don't think he has the kind of pressure of him being cut off the team or like anything crazy like that. They picked up his 5th-year option. But I think he is under pressure because look at who we just drafted in the 1st round. We have Latu, and then you have Samson Ebukam on the other side, who was absolutely amazing in getting pressure last year. That man got so much pressure. He got a couple of nice sacks. Like it felt like there were times throughout the year last year where Samson Ebukam was just going on a tear. He was just on his stretches where he's going on a tear. He's always getting pressure. Always back there. If he's not getting the sack, he's hitting the quarterback. If he's not even hitting the quarterback, he's making the quarterback feel his presence. That's so important. So important. And Kwity Paye, Kwity Paye is a very good run stuffer. He's really good against the run. He's kind of like, I like to look at Kwity Paye as Jabal Sheard. That's exactly the vibe I get from Kwity Paye. Jabal Sheard, very good against the run. He's a rock. It's just his forte. It's his cup of tea. But when it comes to pass rushing, it's not that it's lackluster. It's just not flashy. He gets the job done. But he's special. Is he a guy you want out there on a 3rd and long? Or, no. He's not. Or passing down, no. Latu, that's where he comes in. He's going to come in more on these longer, these 3rd and longs, and obvious passing downs because he might even end up taking over for Kwity Paye a little bit because it's good to have rotation and have all those guys up front, yes, but it's also going to start taking some snaps away from Kwity as well, especially when you have someone else who can get the job done at a higher level as well. So we'll see. He gets lots of snaps in 2023. He's great versus the run. Like I say, he's underwhelming in pass rushing. He's mostly healthy. That's very important. Picked up the 5th-year option, so he's here for 2 more years. He still has 2 years to get better at pass rushing. Is he going to be someone that we're going to re-sign? I don't know. We'll revisit that when the time comes. But by no means has Kwity Paye been horrible. By no means has he been bad. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been flashy. But he's been solid. And he's been consistently solid. Consistently good. And sometimes sometimes that's awesome. Sometimes that's good. But sometimes it's not enough. You need a little extra oomph. And he's going to make that extra oomph play in the run game, not in the passing game. It's just not what he does. But Latu is the guy that is threatening. Kwity Paye takes snaps away from him. So That's the kind of pressure I see Kwity Paye in. I don't see Kwity Paye in a kind of pressure where if he doesn't play well this season, he's gone. That's it. Doesn't have a chance at this. No. And all these guys have a chance after the season, go somewhere else maybe, or, whatever. I'm just going over most pressures, that kind of stuff. Next up, we got Jelani Woods. I know it's only 2 years into his career. He's heading into his third year. But his first year, I thought he played all right. He was a decent blocker. I thought he did a very good job receiving the football. He made a couple of nice big plays when he was able to. He was open a lot, actually, in his first year. If you go back and watch some of those games with Matt Ryan and then Nick Foles, who else was it? Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, Sam Ehlinger. I mean, that tells you all you need to know right there. I don't think any of those guys are on. No, Sam Ehlinger is still on a roster, but he's number 3. Nick Foles isn't on a team. Matt Ryan isn't on a team. Matt Ryan's on a booth calling games. Nick Foles, I don't even know where he is. I don't know if he's commentating on some kind of network or what. I don't even know what's going on with him. But point given, you get what I mean. Jelani Woods, it's just that he flashed the first year, but the injuries have gotten to him. Man, I think he was injured a lot in the first year as well. But, even with the quarterback situation, it's tough to make big plays. It's tough to, really do anything in that kind of environment, and how toxic the Colts team was that year. It was not good, and Frank Reich let it go way too far. But then last year, he was hurt all last year. We thought it was going to be a little hamstring thing, and, we thought he'd be back after 4 or 5 games. We thought he'd be back week 5 or 6. Never showed up. We never heard a darn word about his improvements or any of that stuff. So that kind of concerns me. Is this an injury-prone guy? Could he be good? We don't know. Is he past the point of developing into a solid tight end? I don't know. I don't think so. But he's still got a lot of pressure on him because, like I said earlier, no one's waiting for you to get better. It's either you get better or you move on and you find something better quicker. It's just how the NFL works. I mean, Colts are a little different. I mean, they let guys go and they try to let guys develop, and I get it. It's fine. But I'm not going to get into that. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Well, it could be good, it could be bad. All right, so last but not least, we have Anthony Richardson. And you guys already know how I feel about this man. I'm not a fan. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to give him a chance this year. An extra chance. But I think I've really seen what I needed to see last year. And what I'm hearing now, after some of the offseason programs towards the end, his shoulder's re-injured. Well, is it re-injured? Was it ever healed? I heard it was sore. Is that just a part of him getting back into the rhythm of things? Is that just his shoulder trying to build that strength up again? I hope it's just trying to build that strength up again. Because if he re-injured it or it was never fully healed, then we already have an injury-prone quarterback on our hands who looks for contact. It's just instincts. It's just like how Andrew Luck was. Andrew Luck never went down. He always fought for that extra yard. It's instinctive. You can't take that out of a guy. Very difficult to. But Anthony Richardson has this huge spotlight on him and has so much pressure because he was number 4 overall pick, man. First 4 games, he was a phenomenal playmaker. He was scoring touchdowns. He was a phenomenal playmaker. He wasn't a good quarterback, though. If you kind of get what I mean. Very good at running the football. He's an explosive athlete. I don't think he's a really good quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say. He said that college is easier than the NFL. Or the NFL is easier than college. That doesn't make any sense at all. In college, the game was a little fast for him. He said in college, the game was a little fast for him. So you come to the NFL, and then you're saying the opposite now. It's so confusing, man. It's so confusing. But that's because I don't think he's with the game yet, physically. And I'm not being disrespectful. I mean, this is this is a great man. This is a guy that you want to show up at your doorstep and taking your daughter away. That's the kind of man that he is. But an NFL quarterback, he is not. He doesn't have the footwork. The game's way too fast for him. He's got a long way to go there. You know, and he doesn't throw guys open. He throws 2 wide open guys. Huge difference. Huge difference. In the NFL, you have to throw guys open. In college, you're fortunate. You know, if you're very fortunate, if you're a little fortunate, you throw wide open guys all day long. And now you come to the NFL, you have to throw guys open. And maybe he means it's easier in the NFL because everyone is much more talented. Everyone's faster and this, and they're all the strongest. Or I really don't know what he meant by that, but I found that statement kind of ridiculous because that's not the truth. If the NFL was easier than college, then everyone would be in the NFL, and not everyone would be in college. It sounds weird, but that's what he kind of said. That's what it implies in a way. I don't know, man. Anthony Richardson is under a huge spotlight for me, and I'm not sure about you, but he's got a long way to go for me. He's got a lot to prove to me. Don't think he's the guy, and I will be thinking this way until he proves otherwise, which I don't think he will. So, that's all I got for you guys today. These are the guys I think are under the Colts players are under the most pressure heading into 2024. I'm excited to get back into this. I had a really good time making this video, right? Jotting down the notes and everything. It's good to be back, and I'm excited to be back and get back into the swing of things. So I appreciate you guys for watching through this entire video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. And this is JDW SportsTalkShow, signing off.